What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today, and we are back with Apex Online Racing. This is the Oceania F2 League. We are here for round number 6 here at the Japanese Grand Prix. You'll be able to see the standings from the previous round at Malaysia. As you can tell, we have lost out big time to Owens from that last round. It was a 6-point gap. It's now grown to 27 points. And the battle for constructors getting very tight up there, very tight indeed. First off, I do apologise. This was actually done a couple of weeks ago, but it's just the sort of it's been a lack of motivation and too busy with work. I didn't really have the time to just get this sort of done. But you can see here, we're getting ready to go qualifying. We had to encounter a bit of traffic here. I think we passed ThatLaggyPerson, I think one of the Williams cars. I should point out also, we had a new sign-up before this event. Is that Matt has joined the series, so we welcome him. I believe he possibly is another one from the Aussie Sim Racing. There's quite a lot of them from the Aussie Sim Racing that have come to this league, but now we're setting off for the first run here in qualifying. Took turn 1 probably a little bit too cautiously, but as we come through the second part up turn 3, wasn't exactly the greatest run. I probably lost myself maybe a couple of tenths. I don't know the exact how much time I lost, but I continued on here just to try and see what we can do. Put a banker in. As you can see, Owens has comfortably put himself at the top of the 29.4. We come across and said go P2 at a 29.8. So, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but as we go aboard, here's a replay from the Joker's point of view. He actually runs wide at the second deck, and he's in the wall.
Okay, this is Jeff. Can you hear me? There's a fair amount of damage to the front wing. We suggest you come in as soon as possible.
Definitely would be ideal, Jeff. I definitely think, but he was cutting out a bit there. But get a little bit of a warning there for coming in a bit too hot there, which was definitely not ideal. But the Japanese Grand Prix, I felt this was probably the round for me that I had to make a comeback, maybe score more points than Owens, because if you saw my TOR video, you know I did a pretty decent job up against, and we had a great battle with Neon Treedome, who is in the F1 tier for AOR Oceania. So I know I have good pace at this circuit. I just got to, make it happen, sort of thing. And to be honest, Owens did not have the greatest run in SRL in Japan. Just putting it out there. Go and have a look on his YouTube channel just to see what exactly happened. But we're now setting off now for a second qualifying run here. So we're coming down this long front straight into turn 1. Decided to take a little bit deeper this time, but as we do, we spin the car. That pretty much ruined the lap. I had to wait for a few people to go by. But basically, after that, I just went into a high gear and just tried to save as much fuel as I can. I didn't exactly know if I'd have enough fuel for possibly one more run. You see now I'm just letting a few guys through that are on hot laps. So there was Ruthnik Bird there on the Toro Rosso. But I was really, really tight for fuel. It was going to be a touch and go, I dare say, but we're going to give it one final crack here. Again, coming down this long front straight. We see if we can nail turn 1 and turn 2. It's not too bad. No, it's gone. As soon as that happened, I knew straight away, it was no chance of doing another one. So I basically retired. Wasn't exactly brilliant, but we end up in P5, which wasn't really too bad. I think Owens again got another pole position. I've lost count of how many poles he's got, considering it's been a while since I've done the last video. But yeah, another great pole. Congratulations to him. But this is definitely going to have a work cut out for us. As you can see there, race strategy. I did the 1-stop in TOR, so I was keen to do it again. Just to probably throw off a few guys. I think some of them may have been going for the 2-stop or even tried to go on the soft tyres. It's possible you could get away with it on the soft tyres, but I just felt comfortable on the mediums, and I knew what good pace I had. So pretty much we're going to go straight into this now. It is 5 red lights. Let's do it around Suzuka. It's a fairly good start actually compared to the Renault. I think it's RAK alongside us, but now we're heading to turn 1, taking it nice and clean. No, we've been tagged. at this point of time, my blood started to literally boil a little bit because I've been taken out on the first couple of corners, and now we're dead last. And now we're going well off track as, there's a few spinners there. I think we may have to look at a few replays, a few on boards, but this is not what I wanted, considering I thought I had the pace to match it with the front guys, and I needed to gain more points. But pretty much like Sebastian Vettel's title hopes in 2017, it can falter pretty easily. And you saw what happened to him. But now coming into the final chicane there, someone's actually cut that chicane. I think it's a McLaren, possibly Dajoka. So he's cut that big time. May have lost a spot there. We're trying to see if we can get back up to these guys very quickly because, again, they're not too far away. It's only lap one. Lap one's completed. We're on lap 2 now, but again, taking it very cautiously. I think my teammate's in the lane already, so not a great start for him, especially not for constructors. We can see here through the S's section, it was not easy, I must admit, trying to get through, I won't say slower traffic, but it was a little bit slow. As we go right up the inside there, coming through, I think that was turn 7, up the inside of Hyperdeus. That was a very cool move, I thought, and won't be too long before we catch these two out. Oh, there's a bit of a moment there for Dajoka. He's lost a bit of time there, and I think that was Schulte to Aussie there. I think we may have, oh no, that was someone else that we just lost there, but now we can see we got the run here on Schulte, who's actually on the medium tyre, so it's not exactly going to be quick at this early stage of the race, so we're going to have to do it at the boots, not the boot curve, the spoon curve, and we go up the inside and make it stick. So we're back up to P11. Still got a long way to go here, but it looks promising at this stage. Well, not promising considering we're P11, but just shows you what kind of pace that we've got here. But let's go back to the start, the replay of the start, and I hope you like the new graphics as well. This is the spectator mode footage from iFens, and I thank him again for spectating this race. But let's see here, coming into turn 1. There's a few cars involved there. It involved me turning around, so there was definitely a Haas involved. I'm not sure there was another car involved, but you see here going through the pack here. I think we've got the zombie. There goes one of the Toro Rossos. Not sure exactly which one. Oh, there's my teammate. So that was the one who spun. And there I go off in the gravel. Managed to somehow get away with it. I think the other one was a Force India, possibly DJR TP17. Let's go aboard with the pole sitter. Look at that, just minimises the wheel spin. He's got going to have a bit of pressure going into turn 1 here. Oh, he comes a whack there up the backside. I'm not sure, possibly was Ruthnik Bird in the Toro Rosso, but just holds on for the time being. That might maybe explain why Ruthnik Bird was off in the gravel. Let's have a look here with, he's formerly R8K714, but he's now LRT Velocity, I believe, so let's have a look at his onboard POV going down into turn 1. So yeah, I think that was Ruthnik Bird that gave Owens a nice whack up the backside. Now let's see what happens here. Oh, there's a little touch there, and off there into the gravel goes Ruthnik Bird. So his great start was pretty much come to no avail. Right, let's go back in the pack. He's on board with Mitchie. You're probably wondering why there's a grid spot missing. Ikaya did actually qualify, but unfortunately he lost connection between then and during the race. So that's probably why he's not not on the grid spot. But that was Mitchie's point of view. Here's a replay from Hyperdeus. They're actually probably get a little bit jinxed, I think. Unless the lights were out of sync a little bit. That might have been his teammate there, but I think again might be a bit of lag. But it just looked like the lights were a bit out of sync with him compared to the rest of us. So he's now down the back of the pack now. Well, he's down in 14. Oh, there goes Spagbolt. And there goes DJRT P17. Penske, I should say. I think it might have been the other of the Toro Rossos. Let's have a look here from Spagbolt's point of view, starting from P14. It's an okay start. That was, again, compared to Hyperdeus, who was had not the greatest of starts, but you see all the chaos is going up in front there. Off to the left, I go. Again, Spag Bowl's on the medium tyres, so I think that's possibly his Lockie. There goes one of the Toro Rossos. Oh, he just gets tagged up in the wheel there. We're there and in the wheel, I should say. Hopefully I spoke correctly. Oh, that was very close there. That was Penske's point of view. Nearly ran at the rear of Hyperdeus. Could have easily got some front wing damage, but yeah, I can't work it out at the moment. Possibly there's another car involved. I just can't work out which one it is, but right round the outside is Penske. Now let's see what causes these spins. He goes around this back, but oh, he gets caught up in one of the Williams cars and gets spun out. Thankfully, he was ghosting, so I went straight through him because it could have ended up a hell of a lot worse. I can tell you that much. Right, let's have a look from Joker's point of view. It's an okay start, not too bad. Not okay to Lockie there anyway, but coming into turn one, yeah, I mean, it's still hard to point out there. It possibly could be a Williams car.
Okay,
Not sure exactly which one it is.
Now let's build on it.
Yeah, you guys and girls may be able to point it out, but there goes, that's one of the Toro Rossos off. There goes my teammate, there goes Penske. So literally cars are going off everywhere at this early stages, including my good self. But let's see here, is Joker gonna have a look here? Very late move. Schulte nearly went up the backside of is that Matt. Now he's gonna go side by side here with Joker coming through turn 12. Just holds off at the time being. There was a little touch between those two. It gets away with it. Coming down to the spoon curve. Yeah, gets away with it for the time being, but I think this might explain why someone was cutting the chicane. This is why. Just went it a little bit too deep there, the Joker. You know, I mean, it's not easy to do that move, but just probably outbraked himself just a little bit. And now these two are going to go side by side down into turn one. Who's going to yield first? It has to be Joker. Nope, still going to hold it. No, he's not. He's got a little bit too much on the curb there and hold his momentum. You can just see how close it is between these two. And I'm not far behind actually in this shot, excuse me, but you're able to see what happens here with Joker and Schulte. Oh, he just knocks up the rear end of Schulte. I should say, and Hyperdeus went on the outside. That was us nearly locking up straight into the back of Schulte. We all locked up there. Hyperdeus doesn't give much room there to Joker. So maybe some payback coming, I dare say, but now we cut back to our POV. I think we're on lap 3 now. You can just tell how much I'm pushing at this point in the race. Because again, I did not want to lose time to the leaders who are starting to actually pull away from the next sort of group pack. And now coming through the Degners again. Someone's gone well and truly up. There's a bit of dust flying around. And it's actually, there's one of the Toro Rossos. There's Nick Bird. So his race is not going from strength to strength at the moment. Now we're going to go up the inside of the hairpin, trying to get the drive. Picked up third gear early and actually get the move done. So we're back up into the points. We're going to get a point. It's not exactly brilliant, but at least it's something. Now we're pretty much got the other Toro Rosso in front of us of Lockie, but now back on board we go Joker and Hyperdeus at a shocking run out of the spoon curve. I'll actually see if Joker may get a move here up the inside, possibly into 130R, not quite close enough here. Might have to do it at the final chicane. Goes right round the outside. You'll have to try and outbrake him here. Hold it right around there. Gets it done. Nice move, Joker. And the other one didn't quite go to plan because it was on the dirty line, but this one really worked out. He's the spectator mode. They've given him a little bit of a pushback. That may have been a little bit of payback from what happened earlier. And again, go very wide here at Degner 1, between the two Degners, I should say. Didn't actually lose him a lot of time to Schulte to Aussie, but might have a look here at the. He actually got a pretty good run there. It's not over yet, coming through turn 12. Might have to do it down the spoon curve. Goes very wide. It's a little bit held up there by Schulte. He's very close here. Might actually have a good run here out of the spoon curve. And again, he's on the soft tyres compared to Schulte on the mediums. Schulte starting to pull away a little bit. This is another battle between, I think this is one of the Haas's, I think this is the other one of ThatLaggyPerson, I think. Zombie Hunters in the Force India coming down into turn 1. Zombie did have it done, but just ran wide there at turns 1 and 2, and they lost the spot back to Laggy. But now cut back to our POV on lap 5, chasing down Lockie. He's gone well wide through between the two Degners. Got the inside of Degner 2, trying to get the power down as much as we can. Now his teammate's going to go around the outside here. And that's us up into P9. And now we've got to chase after, I can't really read that actually. It's a bit hard when you're doing this in the editing program, Sony Vegas, but another replay here. Oh, Joker, dirty air. Probably affected him there, and Hyperdeus is going up the inside here. And I think that's Penske, right round the outside. Gets in the gravel, it's in the two Degners, gets the move done. Never gave up there, Penske. I'll give him that. Again, coming through the hairpin, but he's on board from Hyperdeus. Just look at that. Just would not turn one little bit, and up the inside goes Hyperdeus. Pretty simple move there. We should have a look at Penske's point of view. You see Hyperdeus gets a little bit of warning here, but Schulte's had a shocking run out of the Degner 2. Oh, there's a little bit of contact between those two. Schulte holds on for the time being. Might not actually have any footage here, but now Penske's up the inside, the outside actually of Hyperdeus. Gets the move done already before 130R, and possibly could be a little bit of lag involved there, but it's now damaged Joker's front wing. A little bit, not too bad, but a little bit. Now beginning lap 6 now, coming into turn 1 and 2, which is my dreaded turn, and as you can tell, we ran a little bit too wide, and that's an easy spot for Ruthie Bird. Nearly tagged between us two, but somehow survived that. And now all our work is cut out for us, as we're now back into the Toro Rosso sandwich. Let's see if we can try and get a good run up here. He's had a little bit sideways actually out of there. And yeah, we lost out a little bit of momentum there. Now back on board we go with Penske, right around the outside of Schulte to Aussie. Through, I think that's turn 6. So he gets the move done. Now back up front we go to ThatLaggyPerson, putting a move on Exodona. Well, their cars are flying literally there. I don't know exactly how this works. It's online mode. What can you expect on F1 2017? But now come back to us. Now Ruthik Bird's had a terrible run coming out of turn 7 there. Got a little bit too sideways there. We might have a look up here. No, not through Degners. We might have to do it up here at the hairpin. Actually have a better run compared to him. Going to be very late. Get locked up on the brakes. We'll see if we can try and get a bit of drive, but no. Actually pulls away here, and actually we get a bit of a screen freeze here. Which I said my blood was starting to boil a little bit. It got a little bit higher after that. It's now we are back behind Lockie, which really annoyed me because all that hard work meant nothing. Now back on board, there's a replay of Hyperdeus on board. Who's that in front of us? I think that's possibly Exodona and Schulte to Aussie. A little bit of contact between those two, and actually runs Schulte very wide. Yeah, a little bit of contact there, and Schulte's lost out a big amount of time there. He may have lost a couple of spots then, so Exodona just getting in the barging mood, let's just say. But now we've called back up again to Lockie. That the tyre wear is starting to be a little bit of a factor here, because we're in the mid to high load, between the low to high 40s here, and it was crossing my mind as to when to pit, get on the medium tyres to get to the end. But we have a good run here on Lockie. I think actually at this point he was going to let me through here, but we're going to have to go through 130R. We go drop down a gear actually, and then we get the move done on Lockie. So we're back up at the P9 now. Now we've got to chase after his teammate again. A little bit wide of the chicane, but we should start to pull away there. As we may have lost Penske there from the little graphic down below. There's yellow flags down at 130R, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of big hit there. So another replay on board with Zombie Hunter in the Force India. He's going to, that's ThatLaggyPerson, going to do it. Very late braking move. Has to cut the corner a little bit, but gets it done. Geez, the Force India boys are really gutsy late breakers, I tell you what. Go passes around the outside, late braking. Now we're going to see what happens with Penske here. That's exit donor on the left. He's going up the inside here at 130R. Maybe just touches the white line a little bit too much, and well, that's his race done. It was looking promising for possibly a top 10 here. And now back we go with LRT Velocities, run wide. Again, dirty air with the preceding car in front is certainly hurting him a little bit, just like Joker did behind Schulze to Aussie. But I think we're now at the end of lap 9. Now it's a good time to pit here. And I made sure I just managed literally to get it under the speed limit. But I'm going to chuck on the medium tyres and pretty much go straight to the end here. There's no thought at all going on the two-stop. No thought at all. Unless my tyres were really bad, I don't think it was going to happen. But we should have a bit of fresh air here. Another replay. Oh, they think is that Matt. Trying to get a good run. Oh, he's got on the power a little bit too much. He's actually lost a couple. Well, he's right behind Hyperdeus, and he's lost a spot to Joker. Now, LRT Velocity's in. So he's pitted one. Owens has continued on. So he's trying to get the undercut here. Soft tyres go on the Renault. Nice stop from those boys. Now it's interesting to see here when Owens pits, because he could get the undercut here. And now back we go. You can see here we're starting to utilise our pace a little bit. We go purple through sector 1. We're starting to actually looking pretty good on the pace, but there's a bit of chaos up there at the hairpin. I think that possibly was one of the Haas's and one of the Williams. Again, I don't know which one because it's a bit hard to tell. And it was pretty much out of shot there, but that was an easy 2 spots for us. Now that's one of the other Haas's. I think that's ThatLaggyPerson. Jesus, that was literally close. Thank God he ghosted. If he hadn't have ghosted, I would have been a heap a lot of trouble, I tell you. There's literally cars going off everywhere. That's probably what this title of this video is going to be, but I'm not sure exactly who's that in front of us. I think that possibly is Joker. Yes, it is. So he's going to pull into the pits. Yes, he does. So and now that actually lost us a bit of time, actually. We would have been possibly on track for the fast lap of the race. Now, let's have a look at the board. Here's a replay from Hyperdeus' car. See what happens here coming up to the hairpin. Oh, he comes a bit of a whack there from that Williams car. It looked a little bit different. He's on board with the Williams of Is That Matt. Now, actually gets a good run here compared to Hyperdeus. Again, lag may be a bit involved here. Okay, that's a bit of an interesting one. Oh, and he gets a little bit caught up on the power. Again, the ghosting system works well in online. But now Owens does respond. But thankfully, the Mercedes garage is the first pit garage in the lane. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes out compared to RAK or LRT Velocity. Actually, here he is on board. We go. That's Owens coming out of the pit lane. The undercut's worked right around the outside. Actually gets a corner cut warning there, but that's the effective race lead there. The effective race leader we're on board with now. Let's look at it again from Owens' POV. You see there he goes, right around the outside. So the undercut's worked. So this may be a changing moment in this championship. We might be gaining maybe not gaining points, but Owens may be losing a little bit of points here. But you see here, again, we're still pushing on here. Again, we go faster through sector 1, and I think we're going to go fastest through sector 2. Actually, LRT Velocity sets the fastest lap of the race. As we now come through the final chicane now, trying to get a nice good run through here. Trying to get on 4th early. Now coming along across the line, and we actually set the fastest lap of the race. So that's just showing the top front guys what my pace was going to be like if I was up the front there with them. But back we go with Is That Matt. and he's battling the other half of ThatLaggyPerson. Quite get it done at the final chicane, but he might have a look down here the front straight. Might have DRS as well. Laggy's trying to break the slipstream here, trying his very best. Down into turn 1. Very late braking move, and Matt gets the move done. So that puts him, I think, into the top 10. Now we're back on board with Zombie Hunter. He's chasing after Exodona. Trying to get a good run here through the two Degners. A little bit close there. Let's see, he might have a look here up the inside, coming into the hairpin. Yes, he does. Very late maneuver. And Exodona's still there. He's not going to give him space. And he doesn't really give him much space and now he's lost part of his front wing. Now back we go again with Laggy. And there's that Matt. These two are still arguing. This is the battle for, I think, what is this, 9th and 10th. So pretty much the last point scoring positions. These guys will have to be quick because I think, I'm not sure exactly who's behind, who's quicker, but oh. Gets caught up a little bit there. And now another replay here. This is Exodono putting a move up the inside of Lockie, who was going to go for the long run here. Try to go through together at 130R. That's not easy done, but I think Lockie may have spun out actually, and literally we were in the same party chat and he was furious coming through that final chicane. As you can see there, we're not far ahead of him here, and he was actually going to let me through here, but it was a little bit difficult because I was going to go to the left, but he went the same way as me, which was a little bit awkward there. In hindsight, maybe I should have gone to the right, but I wasn't actually sure which way he was going to go. But now it sort of helped his teammate catching up to me. But we're back up into P7 at the moment. And we're just going to try and chase after Lockie again. DT, a replay on board. Revving the engine limiter, the rev limiter up the inside of Exodona through the turn 7 there. You see here, we're trying to get a good run here again on Lockie. I think this is, what are we on, lap 16? Coming through the second deck now. We're trying to see if we can line him up again for the hairpin. This is a very high passing spot here. Go very late here, a bit too late actually. Just gave it a little touch. I did apologise after that, but that wheel spin probably cost me because now up the inside goes Ruthnik Bird. So this is really not helping my case of trying to get some decent points and getting on to the next race in the USA, but it's definitely not helping my cause. Now, Ruthnik Bird had a shocking run again coming out of Spoon Curve. I literally have no idea. I probably lost lack of concentration there. Lost concentration. And that's another big moment coming through, 130R for Ruthnik Bird. So he's really struggling a little bit, even though he's on probably a little bit of fresher rubber. Now Lockie peels into the pits. He was actually looking pretty good. He was going on a different strategy here, and he was going to put on the super soft tyres and get to the end. But we see if we can make a move up the inside here of Ruthnik Bird. No, not quite. And now back we go with Mitchie, who's chasing after Exodona. So I think Exodona is on a different strategy here. Possibly could be going for the 2-stop compared to Mitchie, who's staying on the 1-stop. And Mitchie might have a look here up the inside. Very late move up the inside for Mitchie. Can't quite get it done. Exodona has very good traction control. Now coming through turn 12. It's a little bit difficult. And yeah, that probably just explains it then. But now we try and come back. We go to our POV. We can see here Schulte to Aussie's actually, I think, possibly disconnected. It's I don't know where Ruthnik Bird was going there. Literally on the dirt, but literally look at the dirty air. I literally followed him the same way like he was doing. But again, we're going to try and get a good run here coming down this back straight. It's a bugger this area is not DRS. Hasn't got a DRS area, but now coming through flat at 130R. It's not going to be easy. Can we have a look up the inside? We're not quite close enough yet. We're going to try and get a good run here out of the final corner, but don't quite have enough at this stage. We do follow his slipstream a little bit more, so I don't think we quite have enough pace at the moment. And there'll be a roll out of it at turn 1. It's a bit hard going flat through there at turn 1 in the race, but another replay. We back on board. We go with the Sauber of Michi. I think that's Exodona in front there. You can just see how much lagging he's doing, but looked like he was coming to the pits, but no, he's actually staying out. But now actually we cut to lap 20, and Ruthnik Bird's actually, we've caught up to Michi, and there's a bit of contact between the two of them. Wheels banging there, and that was an interesting move there. I thought Michi would have put up a bit of a fight there, but that was actually a pretty easy move. So now we're back up into, I think, was it P6? That was pretty easy. You can see there Exodona is still going here on the soft tyres. Again, he's going way down the what do you call it, the shorter line. Yeah, not the racing line, let's just say, trying to break the slipstream of Ruthnik Bird, but I dare say it won't be for too much longer because, again, he has to pit. Ignore what it says on his tyres because he's actually on the softs, not the super softs, but I did say to Ruthnik Bird, follow him. Try and follow his slipstream as much as you can. Got to get on the... trying to go up the inside here at turn 1, and it's not worked out. I felt like possibly Exodona could have backed out of it there on the tighter line, but nope, he just thought he better hold it there, and didn't really work out. But now we're trying to size up the move here. Through turn 7, we actually get better drive here. He's still lagging everywhere, but we get it done. Probably gave him a little bit of touch for good measure, but they get another warning there. And now we're up into P4. It's going to be a tough ask to get up into the podium position, but it's probably a long shot. Now Joker has actually run wide here in the first corner. I think that might have been Matt there in the Williams, so it's lost our Joker a bit of momentum there. Yeah, I'm not sure who's up his inside there. That's actually the other Williams there of Exodona. Like I said, he came in and put on the super soft tyres, so we'll have a little bit of pace left. But now we actually get our third warning and get a 3-second time penalty. I felt probably it was a little bit harsh, but that may be just me. Oh, this is the replay of Lockie. This race has just pretty much gone downhill from here. I'm not sure exactly what happened. He may have been spun around or he spun himself, but literally he's just getting out of everybody's way. He was looking on track as well to be at least in the top 5 at best. It's just all gone horribly wrong for him, and now he's dropped back behind probably Hyperdeus there. But as we're coming through the 2 deckers here, we were having the fastest first sector, but get another screen freeze and run wide, and that was Michi up the road there a little bit, so now we're back down to P5. Yeah, this pretty much was like, yeah, I'm pretty much done, let's just say. I was pretty much over it. The blood had boiled big time. This is what it looked like from Michi's point of view. You can see over the big cross there, and all of a sudden, I'm not there anymore. There we go. So this is just very weird. This just shows you how bad the F1 2017 online is, but it's a replay with both the Haas's. He's got a big X, does ThatLaggyPerson. He's still banging with Hyperdeus. Caused a bit of front wing damage there for Hyperdeus, so that's not ideal. Now another replay here. This is actually a battle for the last point spot as Joker runs very wide at Deckner 2. And that's actually ThatLaggyPerson. Just somehow come out of nowhere. Joker goes very deep at the hairpin, but can't quite get it done. And that's probably... It might be still on here. Laggy's not exactly fast through here, but he has to go in the dirt, in the grass does Joker. It's very deep at the spoon curve, but this car doesn't quite have enough. And yeah, there goes the final point scoring position, and that pretty much sums it up there. But yeah, there we go. We've come across the line. We've finished the final lap. It is P5. It's better than nothing. I mean, That's pretty much where we started, actually, but another replay in the spectator mode. That's actually my teammate. Oh, that looked a little bit close there, but and between the two Williams cars, but on actual fact it wasn't. It was just lag again from Exodona. This is what it looked like from, is that Matt's view. So he's coming through the final chicanes. Bagwell's had a shocking, may have cut the chicane there. Got a little bit sideways there. Exodona was actually ghosting then, but all of a sudden he's back in down in the P8 and P9, I should say, for Exodona, and P8 for is that Matt. But LRT Velocity won the race, actually. That's his first win. So that's what number are we up to now for different winners? It must be up to like 5 or 6, possibly, different winners in this series. So there's good competition all around. Let's just say that. And he held off a hard finishing Owens, let's put it that way. But there's the results there on your screen. It was R8K, Owens, and who was the other one? I think DT, yeah, DT had to be. But P5 after getting spun out and then coming back through the field wasn't really all too bad. But does mean we lose a bit more points in the championship there. So as you see there now, I think 35 points to Owens. But Renault now have extended their lead over Mercedes, and Mercedes have actually jumped up to second, and Ferrari back down to third. There's actually a little bit of an issue. I forgot to put the Williams point scorers. So they're in P8 and Toro Rosso in P9 and Red Bull are dead last. But yeah, what else could I say? Except that's pretty much where this video is going to end today, guys and girls. So if you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. A comment down below on what you thought about the race. It was chaos everywhere. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR Oceania videos on F1 2017, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. And all my social media links will be down in the description. But for the moment, guys and girls, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.